There's 400 billion pounds of fertilizer used every year. And you think, well, what's so bad about fertilizer? It's not pesticides and so forth. It can't be that bad. But it's actually bad for a number of reasons. Nitrogen is what they're using as a fertilizer. And in order to make the nitrogen fertilizer, it was a colleague of Einstein that developed a process, the Franz-Haber reaction, which essentially was able to extract nitrogen from the air through a very intensive process that produces nitrogen. It actually requires about 1 to 2% of all global energy use, which mostly comes from fracking and natural gas. The problem with natural gas and fracking is that it releases huge amounts of methane. I mean, we talk about cows and methane, but it's 3 times the amount of methane is released from fracking to produce nitrogen fertilizer as we get from cows. And it's far outstrips, the other source of methane. And these wells kind of burn, and they're quite dangerous. They also, when you put it on the soil, not only does it impact the soil microbiome in a negative way, but it also is a very potent greenhouse gas, 300 times more potent greenhouse gas in nitrous oxide than carbon dioxide. And it's and we're having to use more and more. We're using 2/3 less productive, and it's 7 times more nitrogen fertilizers that we have had to use in the last 50 years. So we're kind of in this vicious cycle. If we literally stop using nitrogen fertilizer, we could eliminate 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. And it also has other dangerous effects. It basically runs off into the rivers, lakes, and streams and causes eutrophication, which ends up causing the death of all the sea life and the river life, because it fertilizes the algae and that sucks the oxygen out of the water and everything dies. And we have dead zone the size of New Jersey in the Gulf of Mexico, which kills 212,000 metric tons of fish every year. There's 500 of these around the world that feed 500 million people. And it's all because of how we're farming.
That's the Food Fix.